Welcome back, trainers! So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Halloween Cup meta. Now, we're not going to just take a look at the best ones. We're going to actually see what's going to be good as a lead, closer, switch, all that stuff. And then we're going to go back to the regular list that we're looking at here, and then just kind of go down, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on specific Pokemon, just taking a look at some stuff here, and then kind of showing you like we do a lot of times, that some Pokemon are still going to be good up against others with a different moveset. Just because it says it's going to lose doesn't mean it's actually going to lose to all of those Pokemon if it, say, had a different quick move or charge move. More than likely it's going to be a quick move, right? And then we're going to hop into all of my Halloween Cup Pokemon that I have with a third move, and I didn't really make any. I just had all these Pokemon on hand. The only one I could think of that I did make currently for this was going to be the Swellow. Obviously I made the Mandibuzz, but everything else pretty much was ready to go. Although we're going to be making a Tyranitar Shadow. We're going to buy a secondary move at the end of the video. Let's get it. That's going to be in the Great League. I did actually evolve that during the event that we did have where all the Community Day Pokemon came back, and you're able to evolve that. So as you're seeing here, we're going down the list. These are going to be Pokemon that can charge very fast. So you have Gardevoir, Frostlass, Drifblim, Beedrill, Gengar, Haunter, Skuntank, Alolan, Muck, Grimer, Alolan. Now, not necessarily charge fast, but just decent Pokemon up against the meta here by Pvpoke to close out the battles for the meta, right? So let's go ahead and go to attackers. We have Mandibuzz, Azumarill, of course, Mawile. Let's go, Wigglytuff, Lola Marowak, Umbreon, Shadow Mawile. Guys, Mawile's on the list. Fable, Wormadam Trash, and then several others here going down the list. So it's looking pretty good. This is going to be very exciting, and I can't wait because Niantic has rolled out special cups before in the Go Battle League. Sort of, not really. This is going to be the first one where they're kind of like revolving around types and not just excluding legendaries or mythicals. So this is very exciting, and I can't wait to test it out. It's going to be dropping here in a few hours. So as you can see, the various different Pokemon, Sableye, Shadow, I mean, yeah, if you have one of those, then cool. But let's see here. Now let's just go back to the general list of Pokemon that we do have. Now this is awesome. All while on the list here, as you can see, Shadow, and then the regular one is actually going to be a little bit better. So yep, this is going to be very interesting. You're going to see a lot of Azumarills, a lot of Alolan Marowaks, a lot of Umbreons, a lot of Mandibuzz. So get ready to see those Pokemon and potentially trying to counter them here. So taking a look at Tyranitar Smackdown, I was a little interested in this because it does beat a lot of the meta here. I mean, you have, plenty of flyers, and then even the bug type Galvantula, which is going to be a Pokemon that's going to be roaming around quite a bit. You're going to see it a lot. So I do have myself a Shadow Caesar as well. Can't wait to use that one. And there's going to be a lot of viable Pokemon here. And as we've seen, guys, I mean, I try to bring this to light as much as possible. Pokemon farther down the list can be as viable as the Pokemon on the top of the list if you do pair them up with other Pokemon correctly, as well as use them correctly in battle, and of course have the correct moves for them. So don't just, go down to like number 25 or number 50 and think, oh, that's it. You're going to be able to keep on going down there. Although, take a little caution with it, right? Because I don't want you picking everything below 50 and then you lose. You're like, Poke, you said I could, right? Pair it up with some good Pokemon at the top as well, if you decide to do that. But anyways, moving down the list here, Lola Marowak is going to be all over. So what you can do is just see exactly the Pokemon that you're going to see a lot, and then go and see what Pokemon are going to be able to counter them. And then just keep going down the list like that and following the bread trail to all of these different counters. And you're going to find which ones are going to be most commonly seen in the Go Battle League when this is released here. I'm going to tell you, like we've already discussed, you're going to see the Azumarill, the Umbreon, the Mandibuzz, Galvantula, Alolan Marowak, Azumarill. Gosh, Azumarill, can it just go away? Like, I actually don't have anything against it. There's some Pokemon that just annoy me, but Azumarill, it's not so much that it annoys me, it's just meta breaking, man. It's just too dang good. It needs to be excluded once in a while. So the example that I was talking about, how specific Pokemon with different charge moves are going to do better. So taking a look at Shadow Gardevoir here for an example. It says it's going to lose up against the specific types that it did have there, like say a Venusaur or something like that. Now, if you do have Confusion, you're going to be able to absolutely dominate those battles, right? So it's the choice. Do you going to want to go with Charm, or do you want to go with Confusion for this specific Pokemon, Shadow Gardevoir specifically here? Not that it's going to be some sort of super big choice to pick, although it might be pretty good. You may want to make your choice wisely here, and I'm going to say you're probably going to want to go with Charm. But I also want to point out the fact that it will absolutely be able to win specific matchups if it does have a different charge move, say Confusion. So, and that's following suit with a few different Pokemon here, right? But for the most part, a lot of these are going to be pretty spot on with the moves that they do have currently, and you're going to want to run what they recommend that you have here. Of course, I'll have a link to Pvpoke in the description, so you can fine comb this yourself, go through it and see what's good, instead of just running through the video here while I talk. But anyway, moving down the list here, I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a comparison here. So losing to the Mawile, there's no way you slice or cut it. You're always going to lose to Mawile with the Gardevoir because of the Steel and Fairy typing there. But for the most part, looking pretty good. I actually have one of these. Secondary move as well in the Great League, as well as a maxed out one secondary move. Man, those things aren't cheap. Those shadows are expensive. All right, so anyways, taking a look at some shadow Pokemon. Speaking of, we have Beedrill number 4. And also keep in mind that just because there's, a shadow Pokemon doesn't mean it's going to be better than its regular one, right? The Shadow Mawile is not going to be as good as the regular Mawile. As you can see here, Shadow's number 12, and the regular Mawile is number 9. Now, I'll tell you from experience, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be not as good, but it's just ever so slightly the matchups are going to be different. But keep in mind, you're going to be putting off a lot more damage with those shadow Pokemon, and especially with that Fire Fang Mawile. And the meta that we do currently have obviously has to look out for like a Azumarill or a Lola Marowak or something like that. But for the most part, it's going to be able to do quite well up against a lot of these different Pokemon here. And I'm happy to see it up on the top of the list. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to Scizor here. So as you can see, Shadow is going to be 14, and then the regular one's going to be 40. So it's all over the place. First, the Mawile's regular was going to be better, then the Shadow is going to be lesser. But for this one, the Shadow is going to be better, and the regular is going to be much lesser, as you can see, ranked at 40. All right, so Shadow Scizor is going to be great up against a lot of the meta as well. Very excited to use that one. All right, so just going down, a Lola Marowak. I mean, what you have, what's going to be key losses: Azumarill, Umbreon, Golbat, Mandibuzz, and Svilis. All right, so you have to think about, if you want to take that to the battle, you have to think about those kind of Pokemon that are going to be able to counter you, and then go ahead and try to pick Pokemon that can counter those. So just look at those Pokemon and then go to them on the list and see exactly what's going to be best up against them, and you're going to be able to, potentially put together a very nice team. Now, taking a look at all of my Pokemon, I do have 77 here. I mean, I have a few that have a couple different moves already, like say the Bellsprout maxed out 100, or another Beedrill that wasn't powered up. I just bought a secondary move. But for the most part, I think we're looking at about, minus the duplicates, probably like 65 Pokemon here. So obviously not all of them are going to be viable, but it's nice to have a good old roster here, as well as bringing you guys different Pokemon to see how they do perform. Now, as far as going completely off meta here and doing some wild, wacky tests, we'll see. We're bringing up our score pretty nice in the Go Battle League, so I don't think we want to destroy that of what we've made so far. So we're just going to kind of ease our way in, picking some meta, maybe a few off meta here to see what we can do. But for the most part, we're going to stick with the top dogs. So we do have this Scizor here. We're going to go ahead and TM away that Fury Cutter to Bullet Punch, because I do plan on potentially using the regular one as well. Maybe, we'll see, although I do have the Shadow. And this one right here, this Golbat, is going to be absolutely useless up against the Ghost. So we're going to go ahead and change that Poison Fang to Shadow Ball, and it does have Return. I'm probably not going to really use that. I'm probably going to just use my Shadow, and I also have another Golbat that does have a move without the Return. Scolipede might be fun to use. This Nidoking is definitely not. I mean, it's ready to trade. That's why it says trade. Yeah, it has a secondary moves because I got a better one. Fortress, I don't have the correct moves on that. I think I'm going to like TM a few things here, and I still don't have the correct moves. I'll go back and I'll fix it up. I do have a Shadow one that I've been looking at investing in. I do believe I did TM away Frustration on it. So we do have Beedrill, which we've seen is going to be fantastic, especially with the Drill Run. There's one of our regular Golbats. We have a Drifblim here. Not ideal IVs, but whatever, we have one. Swellow, we did actually make this a couple days ago, like we stated in the beginning of the video. That's actually going to be very good. Mandibuzz, we made this one, I think, day one of the release. Did purchase that secondary move right away. It is going to be calling for the different quick move, right? So we're going to go ahead and switch that to Air Slash. And we're going to go ahead. Now, Foul Play and then Dark Pulse. Which one do you want to go with? Dark Pulse is going to be doing more damage. Foul Play is going to get to a little bit quicker. Depends. You could take your opponent off guard with the harder hitting one, but yeah, you maybe want to stick to what it's calling for. Then moving down the list here, do not use another one that I got a better one of. Yaw Mega Potential. I don't know. We'll see. This Gloom is actually going to be 100, and I really hate that because I purified it. Could have been a great Shadow. This is before all that Shadow stuff, right? Vest Queen. Nah, you know, it's an option. It's a Pokemon. We'll see as the meta develops, but I feel like some of the flying Pokemon are going to be having trouble, specifically flying and bug. All right, Crustal's going to absolutely dominate the Halloween Cup. Okay, let's go. This thing is going to be absolutely amazing, fantastic. And then I do have the Shadow Skunk Tank here. I just made it on a whim. You know, that's what happens when you have too much Stardust. You just make these things randomly here. It's not like useless or anything, but it didn't really need to make it. It's a lot of investment there. So we did have that nice Shadow. So for our Quillfish, it's also going to be a fantastic option. We're going to go ahead and TM away Felstinger because, well, what if we run into, I don't know, a Azumarill? We're going to be in a little bit of trouble with that moveset. We do have that Vileplume and then our beautiful trend-setting Mawile. Let's get it. So look at that. Why does it say power up? Is something happening that we don't know in the back end? Are we going to be able to power up Pokemon beyond what they are currently right now? Or is that just a glitch when you do buddy them up? I think it might be a buddy up glitch. Anyways, moving down, we did have that Toxicroak. Venomoth, we're going to go ahead and TM away Psychic to Poison Fang because we don't need Confusion and Psychic here for this cup. So there's our Galvantula. The IVs are not good. I mean, they could have been a little bit better. We needed a little bit lower attack so we can get a little more potential. But unfortunately, we failed on that one. Galarian Rapidash and then some other Pokemon here as we're getting down the list. This one was actually called for. I do believe it was like a Charger. But yeah, it can charge fast. And same with Frostlass, another great Charger. Now, this one we didn't even go over. Drapion. Infestation, Sludge Bomb, and I don't know what you could have for the last one, but maybe Bite or Crunch might be a pretty good option as well. So, yeah, we'll think about that. Moving down, there was our Shadow Caesar. Beautiful. Scrafty's actually going to be pretty good. Here is a Tyranitar that we do have in the Great League already powered up, but that's not Shadow, and it does not even have Smackdown either. So we're going to go ahead and find that because it's not in this list, because everything that we're seeing in this list does have a third move. So let's go ahead and find that Tyranitar here. So I was looking at this one. I was like, I swear I had a Smackdown Shadow Tyranitar TM'd away. I was like, I guess this will do. But then I look over at the Shadow. I'm like, those right in front of my face. So we have the Smackdown here. All right, let's go. So almost 100,000 for that secondary move. We're going to go ahead and do it, guys. You know, yeah, let's just go ahead. This thing wins up against a lot of the meta. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll be keeping you up to date on everything Pokemon Go. And you guys take care.